East Africa. We're your hosts, Belinda and Mary.
Kicking it off from West Africa, it is the year of the return. Countries like Senegal have their arms wide open to African Americans in the United States who want to return home.
It's the year of return, an invitation from West African countries like Senegal and Ghana to Americans of African descent to settle and invest in the continent. Senegal's government says hundreds of American families have settled in the country thanks to the scheme.
There is an acceleration phase, maybe due to the specific situation in the US. I won't develop about that. But I think people feel they don't need to be divisive, and they can come and find common ground where everybody can celebrate, its culture, himself.
The city is replacing street names and statues of French colonial figures with African personalities. While politicians argue over whose likeness should replace them, it seems young people have already made up their minds.
Graffitis are legal in Senegal, and while they're normally used to depict Muslim religious figures, look at this one. It's called Black Excellence. You can find Stokely Carmichael, Harriet Tubman, Nina Simone, Tommy Smith, even George Floyd, African Americans that have affected the history of not just the United States, but Africa as well. And so not only can you find them on the streets, they're also taught in schools as part of the history curriculum.
It's new and it's certainly different, but nothing feels better than home.
Right? All of us want to have that sense of belonging, right?
Absolutely. I do hope that they will invest in the country because that would just be like an icing on the cake. Yes. Anyway, moving on to neighboring country, Mali. Mali had a coup this week.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes, they did. After 7 years of being in power, President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita was forced to resign at gunpoint.
The UN has condemned a military coup in Mali and called for the immediate release of several of the African nation's top-ranking officials. On Tuesday, the opposition's military arrested ousted President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita. Mr. Keita announced his resignation in an effort to avoid bloodshed on his country's soil. The soldiers claim to belong to the National Committee for the Salvation of the People and say they acted in order to prevent Mali from falling into further chaos. But global leaders fear this latest government overthrow could open a power vacuum in the country, which has been plagued by violence for years.
Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen, being asked to resign from your job at gunpoint. You know, the good thing, though, is that they did not manhandle him as he was escorted out of the office.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I've heard of countries that have coups and all of these liberation struggles, and it's usually like in the hope of something better, a life that's better. But we've seen some of them fail epically. I mean, Libya, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah, so my hope is that Mali will handle its business well, that the military junta will handle this transition as best as possible.
Exactly. And in all this chaos, we just need a ray of hope.
Absolutely.
You know, and that is what 11-year-old from Gaza is portraying with his message.
First of all, this is our country. Let me tell you how it goes. We want peace and we will love. We will pray and teach you don't. It's a chance if you die. Let's see what the future holds. My life is on the line, right behind the bullet holes.
Who ain't no fresher than hope? Riddle me that. My message talks about peace. And I want to convey it to the largest number of people. And I want to show how is the life in Gaza to outside. I want to show them how we are children supposed to be like the other children from the outside, from America.
I mean, to be 11 and determined to preach the message of justice and peace is definitely not something you see often.
Exactly. Belinda, I'm just here, internalizing, thinking about what I was doing at 11. I was definitely not impacting my peers at all. Just like this guy, definitely doing any of that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, no, but imagine what it would be like to have a son or daughter like that.
Imagine. I'd call myself Mama Abdel. Just like Mama Fresh Kid.
Right.
Or Fresh Daddy.
In this case, Fresh Mommy.
Fresh Mommy. Yeah.
Just so people can make the correlation between the awesome kid and yourself.
Exactly. But either way, as a mother, I would be so proud and
Yes.
I'd definitely support him.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be such an awesome thing to have. Now, moving on to Kenya, a man was abandoned by his wife after life got really, really rough.
Welcome home. There is no sign really to usher you in, but you would have to see this humble abode for what it has literally been for Simon Musyoka and his 2 children since February. This open space in Changombe area in Nairobi has become their kitchen, living room, bedroom, and even toilet. May not look like much, and it isn't, but it has become everything for this father, son, and daughter. Their mother had reportedly abandoned them. They could not afford their 1,500 shilling rent in Mukuru slum and had to move out and stay out, literally. Musyoka's neighbors heard about the desperate situation, and though not well endowed themselves, they decided to chip in and do one better, encourage Musyoka's wife to come back home. The sight of the plight of her family brought her to tears. The neighbors from Mukuru slum have managed to raise 10,000 shillings to help in the relocation of this family, and further help is welcome from well-wishers as they have done as much as they can so far.
It's really sad that it had to come to that. Ladies, we should do better. Anyway, kudos to the community for rallying and getting her back.
Yes, I really feel like the true heroes in this story are the community, the ones that went out of their way to find her, to bring her back, I guess because they understand the kind of stability a mother would bring to a household.
Exactly, and let us just hope. Let us hope and pray that she stays, because that shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Right?
Because when life is hard, we run.
Yeah.
No,
especially when there are children involved. That's just selfish.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we're women, Mary, so to bash a woman is not kind. But then,
it's not kind, but it has to be said.
Yeah, looking at the facts, it wasn't cool.
Yeah, we have to do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, the children definitely need their mom to stay around, and the hope is that, one, things get better for them, but that also she stays.
Yeah. That's it for this week's edition of the Daily News Africa. Stay awesome, stay safe, and catch you next time.